Okay, it is rolling finally. This has been tough. We are in pre-shadow phase of Mercury in Sagittarius, and I just had enough with cell phones today. So be very welcome once again to As Above So Below. Yes, I'm speaking in English once again, in spite of being very Portuguese. But I found it really weird that the biggest amount of views are from people that aren't from my country, and there are any Portuguese spoken people watching this. So let's do this, and because it is something that concerns a generational planet, I'm doing it again in English. Yes, it is indeed. So, be very welcome once again, as I already said. Today we're going to talk about Saturn direct in Pisces. Yes, it's going to happen exactly, precisely the same day that we're going to have a full moon in Taurus. And, well, I'm a Pisces. Yes, a minute of silence for me. Thank you. And for all the Pisceans have been, feeling a certain heaviness, why we're feeling sometimes misunderstood, misplaced, and we're dealing with we're dealing with something that I haven't dealt for a long time. That's try to conserve energy and focus on the things that are my priority. And I feel that everyone, it's perhaps in the same boat, because Saturn is about discipline, and Pisces is about abstraction, dreams, sabotage, compassion, love, humanity. So it's like a very abstract thing, that is Pisces. I find like myself, I'm a little bit like, that Sagittarius quote, Bruce Lee. I just love that quote. Be water, my friends. So the Pisceans are exactly like water. We mutate and we transform ourselves, depending of the people and our surroundings, the people that are next to us. So we are really emotional sponges, and that can be quite draining, mainly if you do work like I do, energetic work. So Saturn is about boundaries. Pisces is about not having any boundaries whatsoever. And we have been feeling this a lot. People for I'm just hearing in my head um, Phil Collins' voice saying it's another day with you and me in paradise, and that's how we are living. We have like first and second world countries living this stability. I have the privilege to be filming right this at 3 p.m. during an afternoon. Nothing is putting my life in danger. And in other parts of the world, we cannot say we don't know. Back in the day, we had this privilege of no, I don't know, just like no, I just read it in the news, but I don't know what I can do. But today, you know it's due to globalization. We're all in this together, actually. So we're all in this together, not really, but we cannot say that we don't have the information, that we don't care, because we do care. Okay. So Saturn has been dealing with all these things, that are connected to boundaries and frontiers and minorities and compassion, and with sacrifices. Um, do we need all this stuff? Because Pisces is the abstraction, the dream. Uranus is in Taurus, so it's dealing with transformation in all this modern society and consumism. Do we need really to consume all this, or can we transform what we already have? Okay. So yeah, that's it. So Saturn has been dealing with reality. Okay. And because it was retrograde since the 29th of June, I guess like the last 4 months, this has been quite a ride, because I'm going to explain to you exactly how Saturn works, It's very, 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 very simple. When Saturn is direct, you're dealing with karma. So you're dealing with discipline. Okay, you already know you have to do the first step is like that, the second step is like that, the third step is like that, and so forth. Sorry, excuse me. But when Saturn is retrograde, it's even worse, because you're receiving all the karma that is connected with all your previous actions. And you have been doing good, you'll receive good things. If you're doing bad things, not being, if you have not been disciplined in your capacity to work with things and in your material reality, you're gonna get, you're not gonna get fucked. It's not the word I don't like to say, but shit is hitting the fan. Shit is going to happen, okay? So you have been feeling stuck in the last 4 months. When Saturn hits, its direct motion, just try to remember that you cannot overshadow any step of the way. You have to do things correctly. You have to come correctly, because Saturn is also about ethics, okay? So if you're not ready to come clean with something, just do not start it, okay? I'd rather be stuck in a project or in something to do something that it's not correct. Personally, it's my point of view, okay? I have 3 houses in the 10th house. I have Saturn. Okay, look into your Sagittarius sign. Look into your Saturn sign. What house do you have your Saturn? Because if you have, I don't know, in Sagittarius or Capricorn or Pisces, okay, kudos to you, but that's a generational thing. Everyone that is born on the same generation that you is having the same sign. So the thing that you have to look into is your house, okay? Your house, okay? So the last time that, Saturn was in Pisces, I already made, I don't know, 2 or 3 videos as well about this. It was from May 1993 until April or May 1996. So we were dealing with all the same stuff that we're dealing nowadays, even fashion. We are recreating fashion, certain types of entertainment, and the same directors, movie directors, the same politicians. They're all here gathered to repeat history, because, well, politicians and other people, they do not come up from thin air, just like, George Carlin said. Politicians and the people that represents us, they come from schools and universities and neighborhoods, and they are product of socialization, and history, just like ourselves. So we cannot, part ways or, draw a line from us versus the politicians, because the true thing here is that, once Pluto hits again the sign of Aquarius, all of us, we're going to be in the street, and we're going to have to gain courage to face the things that we do not agree with, because it's no longer sustainable. It's no longer sustainable. I was watching the news in Mozambique. If you're not aware what's happening, just look at it. I was hearing the news, from United States, Brazil, Gaza. This is something that's happening. Spain, every single step of the way, the people is helping the people. Another way, not the other way around. We are all connected. Politicians, people that are not politicians. Politics is, was created and was discussed in an agora, on the streets. So for me, the only thing that I'm afraid is extreme thought, because Aquarius is really known by its extreme thought. So that's it. So what I'm going to talk to you, I'm sorry, I just had like lots of images flashing through my head. because this has been, you know, just too much. That's why Saturn is in Pisces. We are putting boundaries in everything that it's different, that it's not consistent. We are cutting the wastes in our lives. We're feeling that we have to, you know, have recognition for the things that we are doing, you know, and mainly for Pisceans and Virgo, our Virgos, Gemini and Sagittarius. We're dealing with the need for recognition of the things that we're doing, mainly Pisces, you know. We are maturing, we're getting more disciplined, we're ready to sacrifice less, you know, and working more and being more responsible and less chaotic. So that's a good thing. So why why did I have the idea to make this video? Because I have the karma cards. You know, I'm always bringing up the karma cards because, my God, Monty Farber, Amy Zerner, a kiss to you guys. Eternal gratitudes. They have, you know, with their age, they keep rocking and, you know, creating oracles and doing readings. It's you know, and they started, you know, mainly Monty has such a you know, such a inspiring existence, and you know, his life story, it's just so inspiring. But you know, having met Amy is just like even more inspiring, and they together they create such, you know, such beauty in the world. It's a really inspiring thing to me. So I had to bring all over again the Monty Farber's cards, because they're one of the most well thought and organized instrument that we have, you know, in terms of astrology cards. And we have the karma cards. This is just an amazing instrument for tarot readings, and besides tarot readings, just, you know, announce certain, or just in teaching, you know, and teaching astrology. First house deals with immediately the way that you project yourself. Do you do it on your own? The first house is your ascendant as well. So every time you know, you buy these oracles, you're just receiving, you know, a master's degree in astrology. They are just amazing people. So I decided to make this because when we're having, you know, when we were confronted the last 4 months with Saturn retrograde in Pisces, we're just receiving karma, and we did have time to think about the things that we have done. And what I'm going to announce here is what is going to happen, you know, on the 15th November onwards, when Saturn stops its retrograde motion and gets direct again. I'm just counting the cards. Yeah, it's all set. So where should I start? I'm not going to start by Pisces. I'm going to start by Aries. Yeah, Aries. It's going to be like this. So the thing I want to talk about is what is going to unravel in your life. What was once was stuck and now is going to be in motion. But remember, it's just like the fairy godmother. Just like a fairy godmother. I have the flowers in my hair and all. You have to be on time. You have to be disciplined. You have to give a little bit, you know, be a little bit more you have to give more forethought in certain aspects, you know, because Saturn in Pisces sometimes resists change, or in the complete opposite, when it strikes, it strikes like too hastily, too broadly, and doesn't give, you know, any thought about what it's going to do. So be balanced, you know. South Node is still in Libra, just be balanced and try to not excel completely and sickly and, you know, in an extreme way, in discipline. At the same time, mind your own business, mind your own thoughts, because Saturn in Pisces is quite, you know, quite captivating in conserving negativity and negative thoughts. So be, you know, try to be in a high energy, you know, mind your own thoughts, take care of yourself, drink water, eat vegetables, do exercise, listen to music, have orgasms, love someone. I don't care. Something just beautiful. To create art if you can help people, you know. That's the biggest orgasm you can have in your whole life. It's to give a sense of dignity to another person. That's real pleasure, actually. So that's it. We're going to start by Saturn hitting Aries. So perhaps you have been dealing with, you know, certain, you know, negative thoughts. That's what I was talking about. Some negative thoughts, some you're feeling stuck in your dreams, perhaps even having nightmares or not sleeping at all. And perhaps you have, you know, having sometimes some things have been, you know, hidden. You have been in contact with certain anxiousness and negativity, and perhaps you have been feeling restless because you had to deal with Chiron and the North Node, and we have been having certain aspects, you know, squaring the nodes. Venus is going to square the nodes, you know, soon, and I'm going to do a video about that as well. But I feel that you're lifting a weight over your shoulders, and you're seeking to feel balanced. You're going to feel more balanced, but you have to trust in yourself. You're going to mind really your thoughts, and I'm not saying that you must block everyone that's, you know, dealing with a tough time in their life, but, you know, just focus more on yourself. Okay, this time around, focus more on yourself, because Saturn is going to keep doing this kind of discipline in your unconscious, and perhaps the way that you feel and think about the world is manifesting itself materially, and you are feeling stuck and frustrated and sad and feeling that you have to sacrifice for everyone. Try to shift your perception and see this responsibility as a way to assure that you are growing, because maturity is a sign of growth. Okay, you're just like dealing with growing pains. That's it. So Saturn in Taurus, you have been feeling stuck in your connections, perhaps the 11th house. This is, just let me check the time. Oh, we have time. Okay. Sorry, because I was seeing like a synchronicity in the timeline. You have been feeling a little bit stuck with your circle of friends or your own ambitions, okay? And perhaps because you didn't come clean with all the things that you wanted to say to certain people or your network. Perhaps you have been feeling stuck or isolated in your associations. Perhaps you have been doing everything by yourself, and now I feel that you need a strategy, or at least you need a timeline to talk to everyone in a different way, and do not expect people to do all the things. You have to, you know, come across with a certain kind of, you know, energy, okay? And I feel that your ambitions have changed a lot as well, and you've been working towards your ambitions. So this is really good. You're not, I feel that you're not expecting, you know, the things that you're going to accomplish in the future, because the next 20 years when Pluto hits Aquarius again, I feel that you're going to be working with friends, or at least with people that are, you know, in another level, you know, of mastery. And I feel that most of these people are going to become your friends, or they already your friends, okay? So you have been feeling quite stuck, dear Gemini, on your career sector. Perhaps you're not doing what you wanted to do, or perhaps you are not, having the status or the recognition. If you are at work really hard the last 4 months, you have been, receiving a lot of praise, but if not, you're just doing like aleatory shit, just going with the flow. I feel that you're already, ready to be more, to be, to exert more power and to be more, feeling more like the captain of your destiny. Okay. With great success comes great responsibility. And I feel that you are feeling the heaviness of that, even with something that you are not enjoying to do, but you'll get there. Okay, you'll get there, because this is all about your career right now. Okay, so don't let anything pass. Just be really disciplined, and strict with yourself and others as well. So next we have Cancer, and you have been really, I don't know, perhaps it has to do not only with feeling stuck in one place. It has to do as well with your philosophy of life. Perhaps you are feeling limited by your philosophy, the things that you find they are the truth that once were the truth and now they are not. Perhaps you are feeling you wanted to do bigger things. In another way around, if you did your homework, you received the consequences. There was, getting to travel or getting to communicate with people from other countries or having partnerships. Just a second. Okay, the cell phone sometimes is almost falling. I have to get, another gadget. But yeah, I feel that you are developing your spiritual values. Perhaps you're learning something new, and now you are ready to share this with the world, okay, in a big way. So kudos to you, dear Cancer. Moreover, we have Leo in the 8th house. Well, Leo has been feeling quite stuck. Even if you had done the homework with Pluto almost in Aquarius, having so many squares, and these transits, the next 20 years are going to want to, because Pluto is in Aquarius, people will want to abolish completely all the things that are connected to monarchy and power and privilege. So here we are, dear Leo. Leo is all about privilege and being creative and being the center of the attention. And I feel that you have been feeling like a really, heaviness, because Saturn is in your 8th house. So perhaps you're feeling less resources, powerless. Perhaps you're feeling that, people are not understanding, that you are feeling alone. If you've been doing your homework, perhaps you're feeling a major shift, and that's a positive one. Perhaps you're dealing and working with a group of people and sharing your interests, and you are, like feeling a complete new person, and you are, receiving other people's resources to go ahead with the project. If not, you're feeling completely isolated. This is not a good thing. Perhaps you have been feeling isolated as well in other in other aspects of your life. 8th house is not only money or resources, it's also intimacy and sexuality. And perhaps you've been alone for quite some time because you feel that you are completely empty. You do not have anything to give in return, just like the 5 of Pentacles. So I feel that you are doing really research work inside of yourself. And this might have been happening, all at the same time. You're working with a team, but feeling, isolated, or feeling that you do not have anything and any else, and don't have anything else to give, okay? And feeling isolated or powerless. but I feel, Saturn in the eighth house, if you're, controlling your ego, you're going to get an opportunity to use your power wisely. So just be careful with your ego, okay? We're all special, you included. But the hippies, the hippie generation was born under Pluto in Leo. Perhaps you could have been more happier back in that time, because I feel there was you know there was a I'm not, the word in Portuguese is deslumbramento. People were amazed. Okay, it's not the same thing, but people were completely amazed by fame. Today with internet, we are all famous. I get the chance to be filmed. I'm filming myself and putting this out there and talking with a bunch of people, unknown people to me, but have the same questions and the same interests as me. So I feel that fame is being diminished, and and people are having the capacity to feel special in so many ways, okay, that weren't possible like 20, 30, 40 years ago, okay. And I feel that COVID was a turning point in this as well. We cannot forget that during COVID, North Node was in Gemini, and hello, communication, and the South Node was in Sagittarius. That is all about, universities and philosophy and experience, and we were all living in this huge living room called internet. That's what happened in the last 4 years. So next to it, we have Virgo, and this is about to be direct in your seventh house. So I feel that you have been a little bit frustrated in your connections, partnerships, relationships, everything that's connected to compromising. Your partners have not been cooperating as you wanted them to be. Perhaps you are so eager to conquer someone that you're not giving space, and perhaps you're taking things so serious that you're not being fair, and they're not being fair to you. And perhaps your energy is attracting passionate people, not people that want to compromise and then understand the timing and the sacrifice that is concerned with true and mature relationships, because Saturn has to deal with maturity. So sometimes we don't see eye to eye. We have to be diplomats, and we have to have discussions, and we have to see, put ourselves in the other person's shoes. And I feel that you have been, I don't know, dreaming with someone who has the whole package, and perhaps or something, or perhaps most of these connections have been overbearing to you, okay. Sometimes it's not you, it's really the people that you attract, but what you attract has to do with your energy as well. So if you're healing yourself connected to not only relationships, romantic relationships, or intimate relationships, but also professional partnerships and other stuff, you're and because South Node and still in Libra, okay, and we're dealing with what is fair to us, perhaps it's not fair to other people. So we must cooperate. And if you have been doing your inside, your homework, you're going to attract other people and other energies in the future, okay. So the next one is Libra with the sixth house, okay. Is an amazing placement because this talks about your work, and perhaps you have been dealing and working a lot your ass off. Perhaps you have been in the shadow serving others, and working 9 to 5, 9 to 6 in your full-time job, and perhaps you have being more concerned with your health and what is good for you. So I feel that if you haven't done this homework, you have been dealing with disease or frustration or mental health issues, and perhaps you need to stop to balance yourself. If you have done your homework, you're feeling more powerful than ever to face what you have ahead of you. That is, being more disciplined in your work, being more concerned with the details, being more um, having more self-love. I feel that's it. Having more, because the South Node is still in Libra, so you have to deal with this in 2 or 3 different, front rows. I feeling that you've been more, more discerning with your work. Perhaps you have been evolving. You're more mature. You're doing the best you can right now. You are at your prime and you're ready to share. Okay. Next, we have Scorpio. This has been a tough year. It has been a year of tough love for Scorpio. Until 2026 is going to be like that, because you have to be more discerning with, with luck, with sexuality, with romance, with your creations, with the things that you invest. If you have been, the last 4 months, just spending money and engaging in, several sexual partners and spreading your energy all around you and feeling completely empty, that's not good. If you've been creative and focusing on yourself and being romantic and focusing on develop this kind of creativity and sexuality with one person, that's the main thing. That's the main thing, because sexuality becomes more creative with time, because you're no longer, whoops, this was about to fall. You're no longer 15 or 17, and you don't want to fuck like rabbits all the time, just like you did when you were a teenager. So things develop, in a very much more deeper and wiser way when you stay that long with one person. It doesn't have to be that way. You could have met someone interesting, just no, we're in, okay? We're just, let the games begin. Perhaps you decided that you didn't want a child, or perhaps you decided that you wanted a child. Perhaps you have decided that to be more restrictive with these kind of subjects. If you have done this homework, this is going to work so good for you in the future, because you're going to make several, beautiful things happen in your life that has to do with love and creation and romance. And even perhaps, if you have been having difficulty in conceive, you're perhaps this going to happen with the help of with a treatment or something like that. That's it. Amazing. Or perhaps you are at the end of, if you haven't been working a creative project, you're ready to share it with other people right now. So next we have the 4th house, and this is concerning, this is connected to Sagittarius. Okay, this Saturn direct is going to hit your 4th house. It's already hitting your 4th house, and perhaps you have been dealing the last 4 months with security, with your home-based family, with the people that you live, what you did in the past, your newly founded family. Perhaps you had a baby the last 1-2 years, or the last couple of years, or the beginning of this year. I feel that you are, you're dealing with finances as well, and your emotions and the way that you feel supported or not. If you have been dealing with this in the last 4 months and you've done the homework, this means that if you have created a space for you to feel secure and being responsible and use your finances wisely, you are building a home. Okay, you are building a home for yourself, or for yourself and your family, or you making amends with the past of your family and your ancestors. But mainly Sagittarius and Libra, we're doing this homework, but Saturn in the 4th, it has a lot of restriction. Perhaps you couldn't see your family as much as you wanted to. Perhaps there was a cut in your family. Perhaps there was something in your house that needed to be fixed. Sorry. So if you have done all this homework and you fixed something and you talked about things that were difficult with your family, and you made sure that you felt secure. This, this has been wonderful, and you're ready to develop this work, and break some generational curses or things that weren't being spoken in the family. And perhaps you are still doing this work, but the most important thing is that you feel secure. Okay, and if you have children, to make these kids feel secure. Okay, the last three, we have Capricorn, third house. You're being really aware right now of the things that you have said. If you haven't, the last 4 months, you haven't been discerning with the things that you say and think. I feel that you might have been dealing with certain very difficult things, or people talking shit about you. Perhaps this is a lesson for you to stand up for yourself. If not, if you have done great connections and you have said everything, and and made the right connection at the right place at the right time, you are really receiving the kudos that you deserve. Okay, because the third house is who or what is around you, the things that you put outside of yourself, and the ideas that you share with other people. And you have done this, you have received a lot of good karma, because people are talking good about yourself and you're feeling good. If not, you have to mind your own thoughts. If you're thinking bad about other people, they're going to do the same about you. So mind your thoughts, the things that you say. Don't say yes to everyone. Protect yourself. Even the third house has to do with siblings and brothers and sisters. Just protect yourself, protect your ideas, share with the ones that are deserving of that. Okay, so go ahead. The next one is the second house, and this is for Aquarius. Okay, it has been a tough year for Aquarius, because Aquarius are all about finances right now. They're all about investment right now. So I'm not saying that you're going to be dealing with poverty, but Saturn in the second house is quite difficult. You have to be really patient. Things move really slowly. You haven't done, your homework and be engaging professionally in the things that matter in the very correct way, because the second house is all about not finances, but resources and ethics as well, and what you want. If you have not been engaging with that, you have been difficulty in, and in try to find, I don't know, a contract or something that, makes you feel good in terms of your earnings. Okay. So what you want right now, if you have been, if you have done the right amount of work before these 4 months, I feel that you have been receiving good karma. If not, if you've been, dealing with negative responses and not be engaging in professional or financial, if you have not been, if you've not been working something that you want and not earning what you deserve, I feel that you have to look better and have a different strategy. Okay, perhaps not spend so much money in things that do not matter. Even if it's just like, okay, a package of cigarettes, or go every single Friday having dinner, even if it's cheap, even if it's in your local cafe. It's all in the end of the month, it all counts. Okay, it all counts. So finally, last but not the least, we have we have Pisces. In Pisces, this is happening in your first house, so it's all about the body, it's all about health. I've been the a good example of this, and so many people that have Pisces, have Pisces placements just like me. We have been feeling the urge to be more responsible, more mature, because we want to project ourselves as someone that is successful, someone that is recognized. So we have been changing our actions. Our desires have shifted, you know, and who we are is completely different. Perhaps people are just, you know, a little bit, and weirdly so sometimes, confronted with someone that they weren't used to. Perhaps, oh, okay, that person's no longer a victim. Now they're calling shots. So welcome. This is the people just like to really talk about how Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo are in their, you know, villain era. I don't feel that this is a villain era at all. To Pisces, just like I feel that we have been transformed from water into ice, because, you know, water is just like that. Water is really mutable. Pisces is a mutable water sign, and if we want to, we turn ourselves into sharks. Okay, so do not expect to play for us to play the victim. We can go from being, you know, the archetype of Jesus to Judas, you know, in a second, in a split of a second. So we have been changing certain things, perhaps the way that we carry ourselves, the way that we present ourselves, the way that we eat, sleep, the way that we think about ourselves, because this is the first house. It's all about personality. It's all about, you know, our personality, our ascendant, our energy. Perhaps we've started to make exercise. You know, I was all about this, and I still are. I just got out a medical appointment, and I'm just fine. For now, I'm just fine. So that's something to be celebrated. And I feel that Pisces have been setting some boundaries, you know, mainly from energy of people. They're so toxic, you know. Sometimes they're not toxic people, but because they're wasting our time and we just want to help, and sometimes we don't know how to help, but we need to focus on helping other people without taking their pain, you know. That's it. Okay, and it works, and it works. That's it. So I feel this has been useful to me to remind myself of the power of, you know, Saturn, at least in my life. I hope this has been helpful to you too, guys. I hope you have understood everything that I said, past tense, sorry. And sometimes I just try to figure out what I've just learned like 10, 15, 20 years ago in school. But that's it. Be responsible, be disciplined, be healthy, and cut the waste. That's it. Okay, so many kisses to you guys, and see you next time. Now, over and out.